going? How you doing? And welcome back to Two Jagoffs. I am your host, Austin Cairns, joined here with
Lucas Kuhns.
Minus the Four Horsemen.
Minus the Four Horsemen. It's a bad day. No, that's why it's raining outside.
That is why it's raining.
That's why it's raining outside, because I forgot them today.
Hey, welcome back to Two Jagoffs. And welcome to our NFL Week 3 recap
Minus
and
Austin's
Week
paper.
4 predictions. I forgot my paper. Lucas forgot the Four Horsemen and his pen, which resulted in him having a different pen. I'm also missing my dad. I don't know where he is. He just disappeared. He popped in anywhere but here went. He disappeared.
He's in the basement with the Horsemen and my pen and your paper.
Yeah, it's a bad
You forgot
week.
them all in the basement. That basement, oh God.
It's a bad day here in the Steel City, but guess what? We are up, we are ready to go, and we got a lot of games to recap and a lot of games to predict. Before we get into that, Lucas, we both had some interesting days. We'll just leave it at that. But how is everything going with you? It's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, I had a very interesting day and some very interesting drama go on, but, we're moving past that, trying to get through this rainy day. Besides that, it's pretty good. The one thing I'll say is the rain finally kept the weather cool enough for me to put on a pair of pants.
That's fair. I'm in jeans today, so I can't even complain.
So I'm happy about that. I'm tired. This hot weather, oh my God, it's driving me insane.
Dude, I'll tell you what, this weather is crazy.
The hot gives me headaches.
Yeah, the hot gives me headaches.
Yeah.
The heat gives me headaches?
No, the hot.
The hot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for understanding.
Thanks
for coming in on a Wednesday.
Don't you start now. You're not Nick Brown. No, we dealt with Nick Brown enough. And speaking of Nick Brown, he actually made his quote-unquote debut as the second Jagoff this past weekend. Would we give him credit there? Because Nick Brown has been on Two Jagoffs before. He, of course, is an honorary Jagoff and my co-host of Steel City Commuters, your co-host of New Management Podcast. But Nick Brown took the role of being the second Jagoff and the host of Two Jagoffs this past Sunday because we wanted to try and mix things up and try something a little different. Obviously, we wanted to keep the interview Sunday theme, so I thought it would be cool to do 10 questions that I never answered publicly. Kind of a spin-off of Ask Austin Anything in a way, just to see how it did, and you guys actually responded pretty well to it, so maybe we'll do something similar down the line with the rest of the team. But long story short, Nick Brown was on the podcast. I had a lot of fun with it. I feel like it turned out well. The social media clips got some good receptions and good feedback. What do you think of it, Lucas?
I know the guy being interviewed is kind of boring, but Nick did a good job. I'm proud of him. No, in all fairness, it was pretty good. Obviously, Ask Austin Anything hasn't been here in a very hot minute, so it was basically that coming back just with some different type of questions being asked in a little bit of a different format, but it was a pretty good episode. It was good for what we had.
It was a good, and again, it was kind of a last minute thing as well, so that's why it was on Zoom and not here in the media hub. But in all honesty, I feel like the Zoom time constraints made me think fast on my feet and didn't dive off into random topics. Because me and Nick, oh my goodness, if you're a Steel City fan or a New Management fan, you will know that Nick, we go on our tangents. But no, it was a great episode. Nick, if you're listening, kudos to you, man. You did a good job with the interview. I'm also very pleased with the way our other interviews have been going. Some guy named John, as much I can't stand him, his interview did well. Andrew Stockies did phenomenal. It's been a great couple of weeks on Two Jagoffs if you really think about it.
It has been.
It has been, but we have breaking news coming out of the Steel City, coming out of this media hub. You're probably wondering, Austin, why do you look so dapper today in that blue-collared button-down shirt? The reason why is because the one, the only, Dean of Student Affairs, Keith Palo. Dean Palo himself was right here in that media hub, right where you're sitting, Lucas. Well, actually kind of right here where the table was. But Keith Palo was in this studio earlier today for an interview that's coming out this Sunday. It's another crossover between both Two Jagoffs and Steel City Commuters, the third in history. We did it with President Versailles. We did it with Dean Ankney. Now we're doing it with Dean Palo. I think it was a great episode. A little bit shorter than I wanted it to be for other reasons that we're not going to disclose on this podcast. Actually, I will disclose on this podcast. The Media Hub had some issues with its bookings, and some other podcasts decided to go on a little bit longer than they should have. You know who you are.
Bodyguard LK might have to get involved.
Bodyguard LK might have to get involved. But no, the episode still turned out really great. Love Dean Palo to death. I just had a meeting with him last week.
Can I get your source on this breaking news? You did say breaking news. What's your source?
My source is directly from Nick Brown's social media pages.
Oh, he also said Dallas had 99% chance to go to the Super Bowl.
I know.
98, something like that.
And the Cowboys hat's even right there today. Ugh, God. Forget about them. But anyway, no, I'm excited for that episode on Sunday. I think you guys are all going to really like it. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned. Now I think it's time we get into the depression with football because there's a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries that happened this past week.
Crazy.
And one of the injuries that we're going to start off talking about is actually with one of the teams that's playing tonight on Thursday Night Football. The Seattle Seahawks take on the Arizona Cardinals in the desert. in an NFC West matchup. Last week, the Cardinals narrowly lost to the San Francisco 49ers 16-15, while the Seattle Seahawks had an impressive showing against the New Orleans Saints 44-13. But again, it's the Saints. Let's not really go into it much further. The storyline of this game is actually about the Cardinals for once. It is James Conner, who went down with that nasty knee injury, is going to miss the entire season. We're wishing Conner nothing but the best. We know Conner's injury history and just history of health problems. We don't want anything bad to happen to him. He's a former Pitt alumni. He's a former Pittsburgh Steeler, current Arizona Cardinal. There's so many connections with so many of us that's actually here on this podcast. We've all been fans of James Conner at least one point in time in our lives. So losing a player like this and a person like this is just detrimental for this team. I don't think the running back room is necessarily screwed because Trey Benson, the second-round running back we drafted 3 years ago out of Florida State, is projected to be a running back 1. Of course, in this offense, he's going to probably be running back 2, running back 3 at best. But I'm expecting Benson to get most of the workload going forward in these next couple games. Here is the storyline for me. I said it last year, Lucas. I've been quiet about it this year because I wanted to let the first couple weeks go on. I was trying to back off on my Cardinals a little bit, but now it is time I go full in. Why does offensive coordinator Drew Petzing still have a job? Can somebody please come to me with a formatted, double-spaced, 12-point size, Times New Roman essay stating why offensive coordinator Drew Petzing should still have a job in the National Football League?
Professor.
That is a good one. You made me giggle there.
You kind of fed into it.
I couldn't plan that. I didn't expect you to say that. I was expecting you to play along with it and be like, yeah, where is it? Where's that essay at?
Oh, yeah, where's the essay at?
Yeah, turn it on Canvas, submit it by 11:59 p.m. tonight before this game concludes. No, listen, the Cardinals stink, man. They stink to a point where they're not necessarily bad, but they're nowhere near good. This is a middle-of-the-road team at best, and it's kind of what we projected all along. For once, we can't put the blame on Kyler Murray. For once, we can't put the blame on the defense. Hell, for once, we can't even put the blame on the offensive line, which has been the biggest issue of the Cardinals for years. No, it is the offensive playbook. Now, don't get me wrong. Cliff Kingsbury was an issue. Steve Wilkes was a bigger issue. Jonathan Gannon, I actually like a lot. Gannon has improved his defense to be a top 15 defense in the NFL. I think we're right at that 15th, 16th spot according to PFF rankings. Cardinals actually are good. The Cardinals are good in terms of their defensive scheme. But why is Marvin Harrison Jr. not getting the football? There are people calling him a bust right now because Murray is not distributing him the football. Now, is that a Murray issue or is that an offensive coordinator issue? I blame the coordinator because Kyler Murray himself was the one that wanted Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft. He's obviously going to want to throw to him, and when he does, what happens, Lucas? Magic. What happens, ladies and gentlemen? Magic. The Cardinals can make magic if they let their playmakers play. And I love Greg Dortch to death. That is the man that I am thankful for. I stated that 3 years ago on this podcast, and I will continue to claim that. But there is no reason why in hell he should be getting more receptions and targets than Marvin Harrison Jr. Absolutely not. Trey McBride is the best tight end in football as far as I can see. He should be getting the most targets on this team. No different than Kelsey, no different than Kittle or Bowers or Hawkinson. He deserves the targets. But the fact that Marvin Harrison Jr. is barely even being looked at and being used to block most of the time is just a downright disgrace, and that falls on Drew Petzing. In terms of the rest of this team, let's not forget that Paris Johnson Jr., our starting tackle, was out last week. That's a big injury to our offensive lineman. We drafted him in the first round 2 years ago. That's a big loss. Now James Conner is down with an injury. Budda Baker has been 50-50 these last couple weeks as well, not to mention we're down 3 of our starting defensive players. The Cardinals have injuries, which is why I'm going to pick the Seattle Seahawks in this Thursday night game. Listen, Sam Darnold is great. I'm not even going to say good anymore. Sam Darnold is a great quarterback. I wouldn't say elite. He's nowhere near there yet. He's not on that Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes level yet, but he's definitely a tier lower. You can't tell me otherwise. What has Sam Darnold done? Sam Darnold has a 2-1 record with the Seattle Seahawks without DK Metcalf, without Tyler Lockett, with 2 offensive linemen being down, and with a pathetic defense. The Seattle Seahawks are a great football team. Playoff contender? Questionable. Against the Arizona Cardinals, though, I believe they're going to get the win on Prime. Cardinals are going to keep this close. This will come to the fourth quarter. I expect a similar score to the San Francisco game, kind of like a 15-16 kind of game, 17-18 kind of game. That's where I'm at. Sorry, Lucas, I did not mean to take up so much time. I've just been thinking about this all week because it's my goddamn Cardinals. But here we are. We are live. The Seahawks are winning. I'm not saying their catchphrase, though, because they're playing my team.
I don't even know the catchphrase.
It's like Hawk's Nest or something.
That's stupid.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Anyways, I'm also picking Seattle for the simple fact that, James Conner's out. That's a big loss. Seattle looked good, but it was against New Orleans, so it's hard to really base off of how they played because they played quite literally the worst team in football. I think it will be close. Honestly, I could see Arizona winning because I think they're probably going to split with Seattle.
So you think they're going to win on the road instead later this year?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know if I really should be picking Seattle whenever they're going into Arizona, or if I should wait until Seattle is the one at home.
I'm not going to be making a joke of myself here, but I love the Arizona-Seattle games because there's always one moment that comes out of Arizona primetime games that's funny. Like Dalton when he threw 2 picks with the Saints. Remember, I think it was Marco Wilson did a front flip in the camera angle as it was going to commercial break. And then the one Seattle game, DK Metcalf literally hunted down Buda Baker as he was returning the pick 6 and tackled him at the 15-yard line. There's always something funny that comes from these games.
Yeah, but I'm going to pick Seattle just because of the injuries right now, but I think it will be a close game like you said.
I'm glad at least you're not coming on here and bashing the Cardinals like so many teams, like so many people are right now in the media. Because again, are we really expecting it?
I had you guys going 3-0, so I actually gave more praise than you did for once.
I know my team. I know when the pressure's going to start. Don't get me wrong. I'm impressed with the way they're playing. They're playing good football. Like last week, they played a solid game against San Francisco. And keep in mind, San Francisco also had injuries. They lost Nick Bosa for the year. That's a big loss. We'll talk about that later. But my goodness, that's a big
They
loss.
lost Mac Jones.
Don't even get me started on Mac Jones. I will say Mac Jones did put together a really good 2-minute drill at the end of that game to win it for the Niners. Because the Cardinals, they got a safety. I think it was Calais Campbell. They got a safety at the end, and they had the lead. And then Niners came back and scored, but that's besides the point. Let's get into Sunday's game.
Oh, great.
We are going all the ways across the pond to Ireland. Top of the morning to you, lad. I don't know. That was a bad... Actually, no, that was more of a Scottish accent than an Irish accent.
That was actually pretty upsetting.
If it was Scottish, give me a 10 out of 10. If it was Irish, fail me like no tomorrow.
You're getting failed.
The Minnesota Vikings are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Vikings just absolutely murdered the Cincinnati Bengals last week. And the Pittsburgh Steelers won in a tough contest to the New England Patriots. I have a lot to say about this game, LK, but I just ranted for about a solid 5 minutes on my Cardinals, so I'm going to give you the distinguished floor since you let me speak on my team. I want to hear what your thoughts are on the Steelers, their big win against the Patriots, and their big game coming up in Ireland.
Well, you're putting a lot of emphasis on the word big here for this win that we had. It was a pretty rough win. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know that we won at the end. I looked up and a different game was on the TV. I'm like, oh, Steelers won. That was a hard watch, I'm going to be honest. Our defense played, I'll say they played pretty good. 5 turnovers is pretty great. Our offense just did nothing with it, though. Our defense gave the offense 5 chances to score touchdowns, and they didn't take any of them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. Whenever you have a defense working that hard and an offense that's not doing anything, you're just putting wear and tear on the defense for no reason at that point. Our players on defense are playing lights out, and we couldn't do anything with it. We were playing a 1-score game pretty much the entire game, besides the first quarter, whenever we were up 14-0. We held the Patriots to a slow start. We held them at the end. It wasn't a great win. Broderick Jones, I'm not gonna lie, I think I bashed him actually on the New Management podcast.
You bashed him everywhere you go. What do you mean?
Well, I bashed him.
That's your worst enemy.
I bashed him a lot the last 2 games. I think I bashed him still on the New Management podcast. He actually didn't look terrible this game. I saw some clips. He played okay. I think that it said that him and whoever's lined up on the right side, I think, they had a 90% pass blocking rating or something like that. That's actually pretty good for what they've been doing. Samuel Alu is useless. I'm still gonna say that. Loudermilk is still useless. Harmon, I'm glad to see him finally on the field.
Yeah, Harmon looked not bad.
He actually got a sack with Hayward, he got the sack by himself, and Hayward's the one that got the pressure for it. So both of them are actually playing good.
I will say Drake May did outrun him twice. He missed 2 tackles on May.
Well, I would hope so.
No, I'm just saying, back behind the line of scrimmage, he should have had him. He had his arms wrapped around May, and May just ran right out.
Yeah. And then there was that one time where he was holding onto the jersey and just lost his grip and tripped.
That's the one I was talking about. That was one of them. And the other one, he had a whole bear hug on May, and May just kind of weaseled his way out. I mean, May's skinny. He's like me, so he can just kind of move. He got them twig arms.
Yeah, I mean, considering that he was literally injured for his first season and came back in and still got a sack and still got some other tackles, I'll take it. Yep. I couldn't really expect much more. It's just the offense, man. Metcalf looks good. He's able to go up and fight for the ball, which I like. We need that in the Steelers because that's something that has honestly been kind of lacking. Darnell Washington, we finally utilized him to get a penalty in the end zone. I don't know why we don't do that every single time we get to the red zone, but for some reason, we can't figure it out. We watch it happen, and then the next time we get in the red zone, we're not throwing it to Darnell Washington once. All three of our tight ends actually got to catch the ball this time. That's like unheard of in Pittsburgh. We don't know how to use tight ends in Pittsburgh. And they all caught a ball. And Darnell got a touchdown, I think, or maybe I don't remember. So overall, there's improvements in certain areas, but the offense has gotten much worse since week 1 and 2. Defense has gotten much better, so I guess you can't have it both ways in Pittsburgh. I think we're going to win. I think it's going to be a close one. If our defense plays like last game, I'm excited. And if our offense plays like last game, we're probably going to lose.
So your final pick?
Pittsburgh in the close game.
Here's where we're going to go with this. Let's talk about the Vikings first. They have completely obliterated the Cincinnati Bengals, and it had nothing to do with their offense. I listened to a little bit of the New Management podcast. I fully disagree with both what you and Nick Brown said about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is still Carson Wentz. He is nowhere near capable of being a starting quarterback in this league. But I will read you a stat that I actually pulled up. I thought this was very interesting based on the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings last week had 2 different turnovers on downs. They forced 3 fumbles, and they also had 5 pass deflections, which 2 of them led to 4th downs. That's big for their defense. Their defense came up clutch. Not to mention this Vikings pass rush. They can get to the quarterback. What is the Steelers' biggest offensive weakness right now? It is blocking for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers realistically should be in the shotgun every single play. The fact that anytime that Rodgers goes under center, Lucas, if you notice this, when Rodgers goes under center, hi, Blue Knight, Green 19, like every time he does that, that's a pretty good impression, actually. Every time he goes the under center, the hike, what happens? They immediately blow through him. He has 2 or 3 guys coming at him now, and guess what? Rodgers barely even has time to backpedal. But if you throw Rodgers in the shotgun, at least give him that 5 to 6 second window to throw, he'll be good to go. That's something that concerns me going into this game. I can't lie, though. The Steelers' defense looked great. I'm going to give TJ Watt credit. This was the best he's looked since last season. This is the best Cam Hayward has looked in probably a couple seasons. Cam Hayward looked great. I still have concerns with their secondary, but I'll be honest, I don't really think the secondary matters that much in this game. Yeah, there's Justin Jefferson on the opposite side of the ball, but who's throwing him the ball again? Carson Wentz. Aaron Rodgers has looked like a great acquisition. I still believe Russell Wilson should have been there. I know that he didn't look good on Sunday Night Football. We'll talk about that later. But Aaron Rodgers actually has been looking really good ever since the start of his time here in Pittsburgh. Johnny Smith looks like a great pickup. I just feel bad for Pat Fryman because I believe he should be getting more involved. But at least Johnny Smith is paying off. It's this offensive line, though, man. This offensive line is rough. And although Carson Wentz is on the opposite side of the field, who I believe should not be in this league, and although the Pittsburgh Steelers have the more experienced quarterback, the arguably better pass run, I don't know about arguably better. Vikings is pretty par with them, but although the Steelers have some better playmakers and future Hall of Famers, I'm not going to lie to you, Lucas. I think that I am going to have to go with the one, the only, hold on, I got to unbutton my shirt. Do you already see what's up? Vikings. We're going with the Vikings today, Lucas. Look at that. Clip that one, y'all.
I'm turning this into a sticker later.
I know you are. We're going to do a little school clap like the Vikings do. It's hot. I'm taking this off.
Oh, good God.
It's funny, guys, because before Lucas actually got in here, he was like, hey, aren't you supposed to be changing into a different outfit because aren't you going to be hot? And I was like, no, I'm fine. I put this on right before he got in here. Feels good.
No, that's fine. It's on the floor now.
I can't have that on the floor. I got to move that. It's a $30 shirt. $30 dress shirt. I ain't about to have that on the ground. They ain't going to have to steam fit that one.
Yeah, and I'm the full on this podcast.
Oh, it's so much. I've been waiting to take that off ever since we started. I'm so glad the Vikings were the second game we're talking about.
I should have done a bigger talk on the first game.
No, Matt, dude, I was sweating during that Arizona one. I was sweating bullets over here. I was like, man, can I just take the shirt off already? My gosh. But yeah, no, I'm going with the Vikings. In all seriousness, I know I did that. That's going to be a clip later on. If you couldn't tell by the Vikings hat and the Vikings shirt, yes, I'm going Minnesota. I just don't see it happening. I'm sorry. Maybe if this was in Pittsburgh, I'd think otherwise. But this is in Ireland, man.
But they have Pittsburgh on the home side.
Well, it's a home game for Pittsburgh. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. But no, I got the Vikings.
Can I take over this next game?
You know what? You want to do Commanders-Falcons?
Yeah.
Commanders and Falcons is all yours.
All right, so for our first 1 p.m. game, we got Washington Commanders at Atlanta. Atlanta, you're disappointing me. I'm taking Washington. Thank you.
That was that?
Yeah.
You don't even want to talk about the 30-0 blowout.
No, I'm pissed off. Because I finally chose Atlanta for once, and 30-0. I almost said a really bad word. 30-0.
You can say whatever you want.
Nah, I'm good. My mom listens to this.
Sorry, Carrie.
She knows what I was about to say.
Well, I don't think Carrie's going to be disappointed in you after what she just saw me do with the shirt.
Yeah, she's probably still mad at you. She's probably still texting you right now.
I'm not going to lie. The purple one jeans, it's decent. Actually, no, I look like I'm in Olsh colors right now. Ugh. I hate Olsh. I'm sorry.
What's Olsh?
Our Lady of Sacred Heart, the one Catholic school that pays their players. Yeah, I said they pay their players in high school.
Oh.
They're like one of the best basketball programs. They beat Carleton in the championship like 2 years ago when Carleton actually was good. And
What's the best college football team with purple?
LSU.
LSU fan.
Actually, I'm not mad at that. I'll take LSU. Wait,
yeah, we all
it's either LSU or it's either LSU or Washington.
Yeah, we all know why you want LSU.
Why? What?
Let me done.
I plead the fifth. Anyway, Falcons. Is that where we're at? Oh, Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, no, they're ass. I'm sorry. Michael Penix Jr. had such a hard time in this game. He's still young. He still has time to develop, but my God, this was the worst game of his career. It doesn't deserve for him to get benched. It doesn't deserve for him to get ridiculed or to get cut or to get traded. But this is a work in progress for the Falcons. I'm not picking them. The Commanders last week absolutely smoked their opponent without Jaden Daniels, with Marcus Mariota. Whether it's Mariota, whether it's Daniels, whether if they resurrect the career of Taylor Heineke, I don't care. I'm going with the Washington Commanders, even though they're on the road. Falcons, I don't think I'm picking them the rest of this year. I'm going to pull my dad. I don't think I'm picking the Falcons. He doesn't have to pick the Saints. I won't pick the Falcons. Speaking of the Saints.
So you're going to pick the Saints in this game?
I'm definitely not picking the Saints in this game. They are up in Buffalo, taking on the Bills. Josh Allen is the front runner for MVP. No ifs or buts about it. We got the Bills hat right there. I mean, you can kind of see a common theme here with what we're doing. I'm going with Bills Mafia.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I'm just picking the Bills.
Yeah, no, Saints got smoked.
Yeah, it's the Saints. Who do you think your dad's picking? Probably the Saints, right? He's a big Saints guy.
I would guarantee if I called him right now and asked him, he would probably hang up the phone before we could even get an answer.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this game. Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions. This one, don't skip over it as quick as we want to, because the Browns actually pulled off a massive upset last week, defeating the Green Bay Packers 13-10, just as the game was concluding. But the Lions have a little bit of a short week on Monday Night Football. They defeated the Baltimore Ravens 38-30. I'm not going to lie to you, Lucas. As much as I want to pick the Browns in an upset again, back-to-back weeks,
I really want to pick the Browns too. I really do.
I really want to pick Cleveland. Cleveland's defense is legit. I've been saying it. Myles Garrett is proving why he's one of the best defensive players in football. Mason Graham looks great. Denzel Ward looks great. Greg Newsome looks great. I just got to go with the Lions. There was too much star power on this team. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back duo in football. I really want to say K9 and Charbonnet, but I think it has to go to Montgomery and Gibbs. No one gets more runs than them. We were talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown last week with my dad. I feel like we can all sit up here and agree that he is one of the best receivers in the league. Jameson Williams isn't that far behind either. Hawkins, I mean, this is just such a good team. Jared Goff has been poised in the pocket this year. As long as Goff keeps the turnovers to a minimum, there is no reason why this team shouldn't win. And Dan Campbell keep his calls in check. I'm going with the Lions. I don't think it's going to be as close, but be ready for Cleveland. Cleveland's going to be the toughest defensive challenge yet for Detroit this season.
Yeah, as much as I want to pick Cleveland and upset to the same division 2 weeks in a row, I don't think I can. I mean, Detroit's just a good team this year. They're putting up a lot of points, and Cleveland might have a good defense, but their offense is not good. And I don't see them being able to go point for point with Detroit, so I'm taking Detroit.
I'm going into this next game with some disappointment. We got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Houston Texans. Both teams are 0-3. Rookie Cam Ward versus C.J. Stroud entering his, junior season, I guess we can say, in the NFL now. He had the sophomore slump last year. Now he's going into even more of a bigger slump this year. I read a stat earlier today that was very concerning. C.J. Stroud's numbers is almost identical to Zach Wilson's, his first 3 seasons in the NFL. That's very concerning to me. I was a big Stroud critic, and I'm going to continue to be a big Stroud critic because of the Ohio State curse. When Will Howard eventually gets his time to start, I'm going to be the exact same way on him. God rest his soul. I was the same way when Dwayne Haskins was still alive because of the Ohio State connection. When JT Barrett was a quarterback still in the NFL, I was on him. Julian Sayin, the current quarterback for Ohio State, when he eventually makes it to the big leagues, I'll be critical of him. I believe Ohio State does an awful job at getting quarterbacks ready for the NFL. With that being said, Cam Ward has been spectacular his entire college career. He was great at Washington State. He was a 0-star recruit. He finished off in Miami and became the number 1 overall pick. Last week was his worst game so far of the season. I don't think he's going to have back-to-back worse weeks. Alaminer is a star. They got some depth on this team. I got to go with Tennessee. I think Tennessee's going to finally get their first win of the season. I know this is at home in Houston. I know there's no offensive line protecting C.J. Stroud. I know there's multiple injuries. The Texans even got rid of C.J. Gardner-Johnson today, which I thought was pretty surprising. This is a team that is starting to collapse, and it scares me because the Texans should be good. Realistically, they have talent. They have Will Anderson. They have C.J. Stroud. They have Nico Collins, who did not look good at all last week. They have talent that should be... They have Nick Chubb. They have Joe Mixon. Why are they not looking good? I got to go with the Titans.
I'm going to do that funny thing I always do, and I'm going to pick Houston anyways.
Did you not see the 17-10 loss to Jacksonville?
Oh, don't worry.
Trevor Lawrence was cooking.
I watched that amazing pass by Stroud right into the hands of Collins where Collins could not hold on to it for whatever reason. He looked like Connor Hayward on the field. I just don't see Houston going 0-4 as much as it's probably biasy and probably because I like the team. Both these teams aren't doing great. I actually really like Cam Ward. I'm on that train if he should be getting more recognition. I don't know. At home, Houston, they got to get together. If they don't win this week, they may as well just tank the rest of the season and try to get like a top 3 draft pick, honestly.
So you're going with the Texans?
I'm going to go with the Texans.
This game's rough. Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots. The Panthers lit things up last week. And against a division rival, Lucas, even though it's the Falcons, we got to give Bryce Young credit is due. This was a great game. And the Patriots struggled. I'm not even mad at Drake May. I'm mad at the team. I'm mad at this offensive line. I'm mad at coaching. I'm mad at Josh McDaniels. I'm mad at everybody on this damn team. Why did the Patriots look so bad? And even in that bad game, they still almost won. Make that make sense. It doesn't. I'm going with Carolina. I really have nothing else to say about this. Bryce Young has been looking incredible. The fact that Bryce Young has been looking better than C.J. Stroud the last year and a half is kind of crazy. You okay?
Sorry, this beeping is like really distracting me.
Okay.
This truck.
I picked the Carolina Panthers.
I thought you were only going to go on after that.
No, that was it. I don't have much to say at all. The Patriots disappointed me. The Panthers impressed me. Go keep pounding. That's what the Panthers say. Keep pounding. Let's go.
I'm actually going to agree with you and take the Panthers as well.
Really?
Until New England can prove to me that they can stop fumbling like 4 times a game, I don't see a reason why I should pick them. Give it to a team with a reasonable offense, 5 turnovers. They're scoring at least 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. Not a team that scores 0 on 5 said turnovers.
Yes.
New England played really bad. Stevenson played really bad.
Yes.
Drake May fumbled it. Interceptions happened. It was a bad game all around. The O-line couldn't protect him. So until I see some improvement, I don't see why Carolina should lose this game.
This next game is going to be fun. I'm actually going to tune into this one. We got the LA Chargers versus the New York Giants. The LA Chargers, to many, are becoming a dark horse team this year, as they very well should. The Los Angeles Chargers is a team that should be reckoned with. They just went up against the Denver Broncos and won 23-20. We saw Herbert under pressure make an amazing read, an amazing throw to Keenan Allen as the game was concluding to win it all for the Chargers. The Giants are a train wreck. They had a great performance in Week 2 against the Dallas Cowboys. It took 3 overtime possessions for Dallas to win. That's what you kept saying, Lucas, and I'm going to keep quoting on that because that is how good they played. Russell Wilson had the best game of his career. New York Giants post-Seattle career by far in Week 2. Week 3 was a train wreck. Multiple interceptions, multiple turnovers, multiple bad reads. Did not look in the direction of neighbors at all in this game, which is why we now have Jackson Dart officially starting as the quarterback. I'm not mad at this because a lot of the times I say don't start the rookie early on. You don't want to feed him to the wolves. We're now in Week 4. If the Giants believe that this is the turnaround they need, I'm all for it. Dart has had the time to sit behind Russ throughout training camp. He has had the time to sit behind him through reps, through the preseason, and through the first 3 weeks of the season alongside Jameis Winston, who is a great locker room leader. We love Jameis Winston. I'm not picking the Giants in this game because it is going to be for the rookie. It is at home. It's in MetLife Stadium. The pressure's going to be on the young kid out of Ole Miss. But the Chargers are just too damn good. Yes, Khalil Mack is hurt. Yes, Derwin James is 50-50. But right now...
Najee Harris is out for the season.
Najee Harris is also out for the season. Omarion Hampton, I believe, can take this workload on his own. He's a young rookie as well out of North Carolina. I believe he's going to do great things. The Giants, to me, are just not ready yet. I feel like the Giants have like 4 or 5 missing puzzle pieces before we can even consider them to be a playoff contending team again. But again, I'm going to stand on the point that we made back in our division breakdowns. Don't be surprised if they pull up some upsets here or there. I don't think it's going to happen in this game, but it could very well happen. I'm going with the Chargers.
I'm going with the Chargers as well. This is actually the game I'm kind of sad that your dad's not here for, because I really wanted to hear his thoughts about the Chargers because he was saying that they haven't had to play a good team yet. Well, now they have played that good team. So it kind of sucks that we don't get his opinion on here. The Giants... I just don't like the move of pulling Russell Wilson out. I wish I would have kept him in. I know last week was bad, but he had good performances this season in general. He's making highlight tapes. I feel like this is like a common thing that the Steelers do, where like they pull him after like one bad performance and just kind of get rid of all the other games. I don't like it.
I'm sorry, I had to. I'll tell the audience in a sec. Go ahead.
I know what you said about the trap game. I guess like the upset game. I don't think this is gonna be an upset either. I think it's gonna be close. The Giants are a decent team, but the Chargers look really good. And I will say I don't like to ever like praise something that happened whenever an injury happened. But Justin Herbert didn't even flinch whenever Najee went down. He did a great pass and then checked up on his teammate. And I feel like some quarterbacks would almost be scared to continue the play and would kind of like freeze. He kept going. So That was a good play by Herbert.
Couldn't agree more with you on that. And again, a lot of people are going to start putting the Chargers up there in their like early Super Bowl blocks now too, which again, in all honesty, can you really blame them? They're playing like that team. And guess what? The biggest question out of the AFC is, oh, wait a minute, can you beat the Chiefs though? Baltimore couldn't. Buffalo couldn't. Guess what the Chargers just did in week 1? And not only did they beat them, they exposed them. It's going to be something they could talk about all season. Also, Ollie, I'm not answering you during 2 Jagoffs. That is who just tried calling me. I had to show Lucas. He got a good laugh out of it. No. Not happening. If I answered his phone call in here, we might get canceled.
Oh, we definitely would. I mean, to be fair, he thinks that he knows that we record on Wednesdays, and this is not a Wednesday, so.
That is true. That is true. So I apologize, Ollie. Actually, you know what? I'm not mad at him at all for calling me, because I usually call him before sideline sometimes. I call him these last 2 Tuesdays right before sideline when I was down here just hanging out.
Probably, what the heck are you doing?
He's probably like, Austin. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. We're going on a trip again this weekend to West Virginia. We're going to Negative Outlook. We're going to see some concerts. We're going to see some wrestling. We're going to see some burlesque. It's going to be a nice time. It's going to be a very nice time. This game, I have a lot to say, and then I'll bounce it over to you real quick. Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In my opinion, the game of the week. In my opinion, might be the game of the year. These are the 2 Super Bowl favorites to come out on top in the NFC. The Philadelphia Eagles had an amazing comeback victory, 33-26 against the Los Angeles Rams, while the Tampa Bay Buccaneers nearly hang in there with the New York Jets, 29-27. I got to set my stuff down for this one. Look, for anybody that's sitting up here ridiculing Jalen Hurts for that comeback victory against the Rams, clearly you don't watch football. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles were playing from behind. Yes, the Los Angeles Rams were dominating for about 3.5 quarters of this game. But what matters the most in football isn't the pure dominance that you bring on the gridiron. What matters most is, can your players stick together through the tough times and put together a winning formula? Can your team go out there, not just as teammates, not just as players, not just as friends, but as brothers, arms locked, deep in the trenches, and come out on top with a victory? Philadelphia just did that this past Sunday. Jalen Hurts lit it up. Saquon Barkley didn't have to do too much. The defense held up. Not to mention they lost Lane Johnson in this game. That's a big loss to their offensive line. The Philadelphia Eagles were able to come back against one of the best teams in football. The Rams are a good team. Sean McVay is a Hall of Fame coach. Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Devontae Adams is a Hall of Fame wide receiver. This is a good team. A very good team. An elite team. And the Eagles came back. In terms of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, yeah, they struggled against the Jets. But guess what? The Jets are one of those teams that can kind of beat anybody on any given Sunday. We saw Aaron Glenn do that dance at the end of the game after they blocked a field goal and returned it back for a touchdown. We all thought it was going to end, but what did Baker Mayfield do? It's not about what happened during the game. It's how you ended it off. The 2-minute drill that he put together. I think this is his 19th comeback victory within 2 minutes, which is impressive. You want to know who Baker Mayfield reminds me a lot of? And I can't believe I'm about to say this. Ben Roethlisberger. Baker Mayfield plays rough. He'll throw defenders off you. He'll get in your face. Yeah, he may not be as fast, but if he has to take off, he will. He'll lower that shoulder. He'll get in your face and be like, what the F you going to do about it? Because guess what? He is a dog. He was like that at Oklahoma. He was like that in Cleveland. And now he is like that here in Tampa Bay. Listen, I said before the season even started, before we even did our division breakdowns, I said it probably on like a Lucas Carey's or like a random game show or like a this or that. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the team that has the best chance of beating the Philadelphia Eagles when it matters most. Tampa Bay beat Philly a couple years ago in the playoffs when Hurts was just getting started. They gave him a hard time a year or two ago. In this game, ladies and gentlemen, at home in Tampa Bay, I don't have another shirt on underneath to take off, unfortunately. But
All right, I was waiting for it.
No, I'm not. No, that's not happening. You have to pay for that. I am picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles. Lucas, I might have said it to you on the phone. I don't remember if I did or not. But I believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the most underrated team in football. Now, I'm going to address something I know you're going to bring up, and that's Mike Evans. I know Mike Evans is down the next couple weeks.
He's taking all my lines.
But I'm just going to sit up here and say this. Never fear, Emeka Egbuka is here. He is a star. He is my offensive rookie of the year right now. He is going to replace Mike Evans when Mike Evans retires. No one's replacing Mike Evans right now. Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame first ballot wide receiver. But when Mike Evans retires, you best better believe Egbuka will be wide receiver 1, as he should. This will be a duo to watch for years. Give me the Bucs.
Yeah, I am worried about both teams. Philadelphia losing Lane Johnson, Tampa Bay losing Mike Evans. Both are easily some of the best on their respective teams. This game is going to be it's either going to be a really close defensive battle or a really high-scoring offensive battle. And I honestly don't know which one's going to be. My biggest concern for Philadelphia is Jalen Hurts not throwing the ball to A.J. Brown. For whatever reason, they're just not really connecting the season as well, it seems. My biggest fear for Tampa Bay is honestly, I don't know, Mike Evans not being there maybe. They're playing solid. Baker looks good. The team got a little lazy back against Houston whenever he fumbled, and nobody really seems like they won the ball. Mm-hmm. But besides that, the team's been playing good. I am going to choose Philadelphia, just because I think that they're really good at winning these type of close games. But I have a strong feeling that this is a very 50-50 game.
You could say the same thing about Tampa though, because guess what? The Bucs came back without Mike Evans, without Tristan Wirfs, and without Kalijah Cansey last week.
That's true.
Those are some big players right there.
Those are some big players, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm right. It's
a fun game. I'm excited for this.
This is gonna be a really good game. Honestly, you can go either way. You're not wrong for whichever side you pick.
This will be the 1:00 game I'm watching. Easily. Yeah. It has to be. I am going to be watching this 4:05 game too. The Indianapolis Colts, LA Rams. Colts defeated the Tennessee Titans 41-20, while of course we just talked about the Rams in that loss 33-26. The biggest question mark with the Indianapolis Colts this season is, are they legit? Is Daniel Jones really who he says he is? Well, guess what? He is 3-0 right now. His numbers are identical to Dan Marino's back when he played for the Dolphins. He has been lighting it up each and every single week, and last week was the first time we saw the Colts punt in over a year. So, yes, to many people, the argument that the Colts are legit is valid. To me, I got to see against real competition. I got to see how the Indianapolis Colts do in a hostile environment on the road against a contending team. We're going to see just that this Sunday with the LA Rams. The Rams are a real team. The Rams are playing at home, hosting the Colts. This is where it matters most. Now, yes, the Rams are beat up after last week's loss to the Eagles. Yes, the Colts pretty much had a cakewalk against their division rival, the Titans, last week. But this is the game I'm keeping my eye on most. And I love Danny Dimes. I love Daniel Jones and what he's doing right now. I was very critical of him in New York, and I'm going to continue to be critical of him. But this is where I believe the party stops. I think the Rams are going to win in a very tight game. I think this is going to go to overtime. This is my bold prediction. Colts are going to kick the game-time field goal in the fourth quarter as time is expiring. We're going to go to overtime. We're going to see a possession each, and then Stafford is going to do what he does best, come back and win for the Rams. They got Puka Nacua, they got Adams, they got Williams. You know the squad. This is a good team. Give me the Rams. It's tough.
I'm going to keep my party alive.
Party's alive. We
I'm going
partying.
to keep my Danny Dimes party alive. We said this last week whenever it was me and your dad. We said that the Chargers need to prove it. They need to play a real team. Well, they played that real team. They played the Broncos and won. They proved themselves. And people are going to say, oh, well, Indianapolis did the same thing. Now they lost to the Broncos. That penalty ruined the game. That was a stupid penalty.
That is a good point.
I'm going to pick, once again, the team that needs to prove themselves, and I think that they are going to prove themselves. I think that they're going to play a very good game against the Rams. I do think it's going to be close, like you said. But I think that going into this game, nothing's really stopping them. Nothing's really holding them back so far. They've been playing consistently well. I mean, the fact that they didn't have to punt until the third week of a season, that's really, really good for a quarterback that everybody wrote off as a bust.
And let's not forget the supporting cast, too. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, Kenny Moore, Michael Pittman Jr. These are good players on both sides of the ball. That is helping out the case on why the Colts could be a sleeper team. Mm-hmm. Who knows? I want to go to you first in this next game, though, Lucas. It's our second and final 405 game. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars, San Francisco 49ers. Although the Niners are down Nick Bosa and down Brock Purdy and down probably 12 other players, they're 3-0. And they're home, hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, although is 2-1, has still had a bit of a rocky start. My only argument with the Jaguars and why I defend Trevor Lawrence so much, he's had 4 different head coaches and 3 different offensive coordinators in his time in the league. That's bad within 5 seasons. I believe we got to give Lawrence some more slack here. What's your thoughts, though, on this game, and who do you got winning?
I'm actually going to take San Francisco, as they are getting back Brock Purdy.
Oh, it is this week.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
That's what I've heard, at least, so far. I've heard that Brock Purdy is already like back on like kind of like not like full practicing, but like he is back on the field. And people, because I was wondering, Mac Jones and Brock Purdy's down, who's playing? And then I saw an Instagram thing that Purdy is expected to be back for this game. So if that is true, I'm going to be sticking with San Francisco. If not, I don't even know who's throwing the ball at that point. And I'd probably go Jacksonville. But if Brock Purdy really is back, I think that they can win this game. I think it's going to be a pretty crappy game, but I think they could win it.
I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers, too. Although the injuries are there, Nick Bosa is probably the biggest loss. And whether it was Purdy or whether it was Jones, I don't think it really mattered. I think the system is already laid out to plan to where both of them would succeed against a team like the Jaguars. The Jaguars are just a mess. They don't really know how to use their guys. I mean, you drafted Trayvon Walker number 1 overall a couple years ago, yet you can't even have him as a top 5 edge rusher in the league. I'm sorry. I don't see the Jags going far this year. I got to pick the Niners. Lucas, this next game is big. 425 CBS. We'll probably have to deal with Tony Romo on broadcast. Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, a possible AFC Championship matchup. Maybe, maybe not. Both teams are 1-2, which is shocking because these are 2 favorites going into January and February of next year. Thoughts on this game and thoughts on the Chiefs' 22-9 win over the Giants and thoughts on the Baltimore loss to the Lions?
Well, I was really hoping Kansas City was going to lose that game against the Giants. I actually did go into that game having the Giants. I honestly wasn't surprised that Kansas City won. I knew it was going to happen at some point. I was hoping. A little piece inside of me was really wanted that 0-3 start to happen for them. I think Baltimore's just the better team still. I mean, they're having so many issues, so many upsetting losses. It's getting hard to pick them anymore. Derrick Henry pulled a George Pickens on the sideline, started throwing his helmet down. And reasonably so. You are supposed to be the toughest and best running back in the league, and you are fumbling consistently now, which is quite concerning. But I just don't know if Kansas City can put up the points on Baltimore. Baltimore's probably going to score for 30-ish points in this game, around that mark, if not a little more, maybe a little less. I don't know. Kansas City concerns me. They got their own problems to deal with. I'm going to choose Baltimore. I think it's going to be a close game. This is probably what people think the AFC conference game is going to look like. It could go either way, but I'm going to once again put for whatever belief I have as a Steelers fan, into Baltimore.
I'm actually also picking the Ravens this week. And this may surprise some people because I did pick the Chiefs last week, and they won. The reason why I'm going with the Ravens this week has nothing to do actually with Kansas City, but it has everything to do with Baltimore. I believe Derrick Henry is frustrated. I believe he is upset. I believe this is finally going to be the week where John Harbaugh says, hey, we need to pound Henry until we can't anymore. The Kansas City Chiefs actually have some talent at wide receiver, and I know my dad might even disagree with me on this, but Tyquan Thornton's actually a good receiver. He has showed up and showed out. I'm going to read you his stats last week. I was impressed. 5 receptions, 71 yards, and a touchdown. He averaged 14.2 yards per reception. That's more. That's almost 2 first downs combined, Lucas.
I think that's what Mike Buka averaged.
Yeah.
Because I put up that stat on the other podcast.
Mm-hmm. It's a good stat. So they have talent. I don't understand why Pacheco's splitting reps with Kareem Hunt. I mean, don't get me wrong. Kareem Hunt's a good running back. He's the only one to score a touchdown out of the two in this past week, but both of them split for 10 carries. It should be more like 15-5, 26. You know what I mean? Like it should be more in Pacheco's favor. I get it. They're trying to get solid, smooth reps with both of them. But a team like Baltimore, you can't just bring in Pacheco for a couple plays, then Hunt for a couple plays, then back to Pacheco, then back. No, pick one and stick with them, and then have your power-heavy third down back. Kareem Hunt's a good third down running back. Hell, he's a good fourth down running back. But you should be pounding Pacheco on these first downs, these second downs, these check downs. And don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes did a good job at that. Mahomes didn't look too bad last week. Yeah, he only had 1 touchdown, but he still nearly had 300 yards. Patrick Mahomes is still a generational player. I'm not going to do the whole... What do they say that like Chris Collinsworth does and like the other announcers do? What, they glaze Patrick Mahomes? Is that what they say? I'm not going
to lie. I'm so sick of Chris Collinsworth.
I'm not going to do that, but I am going to sit up here and say Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback of our generation. I am going to sit up here and say Patrick Mahomes is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And if Patrick Mahomes can get back in the Super Bowl, he very well could be the GOAT when it's all said and done. As of right now, though, the Chiefs dynasty is still alive. Yes, the season sucks right now for this team, but you can say the exact same thing for Baltimore. Baltimore has just as many flaws, if not more, than Kansas City. That doesn't stop me from picking them, though, this Sunday. The Baltimore Ravens have a great squad. Lamar Jackson has been a little shaky this year. Right now, Josh Allen is now the MVP frontrunner. You can make a very solid case for Daniel Jones, too, with the way he's playing. As crazy as that sounds, but he has... If we said about Sam Darnold last year, we got to say it about Daniel Jones this year.
Is the frontrunners Herbert, Jones?
Herbert's up there.
Herbert, Jones, and Allen?
I'd probably put Jones above Herbert right now, just slightly, just because Herbert.
I would too.
Yeah, Herbert was iffy a little iffy, but no, I'll be honest with you. This game's going to be good. I'm excited for it. I actually expect a low-scoring game. I don't expect Baltimore to score as much as you think they are. I think Kansas City is going to do a pretty good job of containing them, but the question is, can Derrick Henry not fumble? We'll find out.
And can Travis Kelce actually hold on to the ball?
Yeah. I'm not going to say, outside of that one play, though, Kelce didn't look half bad either, though. I mean, like, he could have done more, but he's up there in age. You don't expect him to do as much. He's not no Trey McBride or Brock Bowers.
Yeah. My problem is just people are still putting him up there in that like top tight end mark. You can't call for the pass and then drop the pass. Mm-hmm. If you're going to call for it, you better be ready to catch it. And he called for it and he dropped it.
Let's now talk about this next game. We got the Bears and the Raiders. The Raiders had an embarrassing loss to the Commanders this past Sunday, while the Bears actually upset the Cowboys, putting up 31 points on Sunday Night Football. I know you're excited for it. I see the grin on your face. I'm going to go to you first. What's your thought on this game right here, Bears and Raiders?
I'm picking the Bears. I'll just be honest about that right off the start. Las Vegas sucks.
Yeah.
Anyone that said that their ceiling's 10 is crazy, delusional.
Yeah. Who would have thought? They might be on another podcast.
Yeah, probably crappy podcast.
No, I don't want to say crappy podcast. We don't want to take ourselves to other podcasts, but the co-host or anchor on that podcast that said it had a pretty crappy opinion.
It's like the...
Love you, Jake Levinsky.
Hey, he didn't get lost on the bus, so good job.
Good job, Jake. Jake, I was just talking to you in Ed Mina's history class. We love Jake. Jake's a good guy. Your team stinks, but you were great. My team stinks too. Your team stinks sometimes. We all know that team stinks right there for Nick Brown. That team.
I will say, Jake is one of the few people that have actually talked to me without me talking to them first.
Oh, really?
At Point Park, yeah.
I'll shout out to Jake Levitt.
Whenever we were at sideline, he was sitting next to me. He just started talking to me. I'm like, I don't even know who you are.
Nah, Jake's a good guy. We love Jake Levinsky over here.
I had to lean over Nick. I'm like, who's sitting next to me? He was like, oh, it's Jake. I'm like, okay.
It's one of the two Jakes that go here.
Yeah.
It was funny. Me and Nick Brown saw Jake Bell earlier today. The other Jake. So shout out to Jake Bell as well.
They're both cool.
Love our Point Park guys.
I'm going to choose the Bears. They're playing better.
Yes.
Vegas is terrible.
Yes.
I thought that the Vegas was actually going to be a somewhat decent team this season because of what they got. They're not. The biggest question is, will Carroll fire Carroll? So we'll have to see on that one. But I think Chicago is just quite literally the better team all around.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Caleb Williams has made his NFL debut. I have been very disappointed in the way Caleb Williams has played ever since he's been drafted. This past Sunday, he showed to me that he deserves to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Caleb Williams looked confident. Caleb Williams looked poised. Caleb Williams looked determined. Caleb Williams made good reads, made good throws, made good checkdowns, took off when he needed to.
And you're forgetting something important.
I had a lot more to say, but go ahead.
Sorry. And he made Nick Brown turn off the TV.
He made Nick Brown turn off the TV, which is a big one. And most importantly, he knew when to get rid of the football. One of our biggest question marks with Caleb Williams was, why are you holding on to the football too long? Why are you running around in circles and not just trying to throw it to the ground or throw it out of bounds and throw it out of play? Caleb Williams picked apart this Dallas Cowboys defense. Limb from limb, player to player, personnel to personnel. This was a train wreck on Dallas' behalf. ESPN did a debate. Dan Orlovsky was all giving praise to Caleb Williams. Stephen A. was obviously ripping the Dallas Cowboys to shreds, talking about how, okay, was this more of a Cowboys defense collapse or was this more of a Caleb Williams projection? I'm actually more in favor of Caleb Williams than I am Dallas because, yes, Dallas defense stinks, and yes, they gave up a lot of points, but Caleb Williams was the one that made these throws. Let's not forget, if Caleb Williams makes, let's just say he made one or two small mistakes. Let's just say the fourth down that they went for, they miss. They give up Dallas the ball on their own 30-yard line. And let's just say maybe Caleb Williams has one interception. Let's just play the hypothetical game here, okay? One turnover on downs and one interception. Guess what? Dallas is right back in the game. Just like that. Dallas is right back in the game.
That should be 2 touchdowns, theoretically.
Should be 2 touchdowns. And guess what? What is that? You're tying up the game now. If not, Cowboys are at least within one score. The Chicago Bears actually played good football. Now, is this going to continue weeks on end? I believe it will. The Raiders are a mess. Genty is not the problem. I do not want to see that horrible article anymore that Ashton Genty is a bust and they don't know. No. The fact of the matter is Ashton Genty is playing behind practice squad players. One of the linemen is a practice squad player, a third stringer, and 2 of them are backups. They only have 2 starters right now. 2 starters on that whole offensive line. Do not sit, and one of them is Jackson Powers-Johnson, your boy.
That is my boy.
Come on. That is a train wreck. I got to go with the Bears.
Green Bay at Dallas.
I'm so excited for this one.
Do you have a big rant?
I do. I'm going to give you the floor first, though, but here's my little introduction. The Green Bay Packers are taking on the Cowboys. Cowboys are 1-2. Packers are 2-1. We just talked about the collapse of the Cowboys. Packers had a bit of their own collapse against the Browns as well, losing 13-10. I do have a lot to say about both of these teams. I'm going to give you the floor first. Thoughts?
Well, it's Micah Parsons' big return to Dallas. I think that he's going to come back with a lot of rage. Green Bay did not look good. They lost 13-10 to the Browns of all teams. That was a trap game. That was a game that they probably quite literally overlooked. They probably laughed it off, and they paid for it. They paid for it big time because you don't want to take stupid losses like that as a team that's being praised upon, as a team that's looked at as some people's Super Bowl contenders, as a team that many people say should be winning this division, are probably going to win this division. So it's a bad game, but I mean, honestly, all good teams have a trap game usually. It's just, I don't know if you want to take it in week 3 to the Browns of all people. Dallas, they collapsed to the Bears, and they lost CeeDee Lamb for, 4 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
That's bad for them. Pickens, who's the wide receiver that went out? Is it Pickens? Oh, God.
George Pickens, Jalen Tolbert, and Kevontae Turpin. Yeah,
I hate to say to you, Dallas people, I had George Pickens as my wide receiver 1. He's not a great wide receiver 1. This game, it shouldn't be close. Green Bay should just win this game pretty outright. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Parsons will come back with some energy. I think that he'll be hot off the start. And I think he'll be consistent throughout the game. I'm more worried about each side's offenses and how they play. And if Dak can somehow get this team moving, or if it's a complete blowout. I'm picking Green Bay.
I'm very worried for Jordan Love's future. Jordan Love looked awful last week. I'm just going to say right now, Jordan Love has had a history of issues within the fourth quarter of giving up leads, not coming back from leads, or collapsing under pressure. He did just that against the Cleveland Browns. As much as we like to mess with the Dallas Cowboys and make jokes on all 3 of our podcasts, talking about how bad they are, what their Super Bowl chances are, this is a team that very well could easily beat the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football. Let's not forget that. Dak Prescott could very well easily go off for 300-plus yards and 4 touchdowns if he really wanted to. I don't believe Jordan Love can do that. What I do believe in, though, is this defense. Micah Parsons is going to rip this offensive line to shreds. He is wants vengeance. He is hungry. He is ready to prove Jerry Jones' world. We all know Jerry Jones is going to be up there in the rafters watching down in his $100 million suite with his filet mignons and his foot massages and everything that he's getting up there in that booth. You best better believe that Micah Parsons is going to be eyes locked in with Jones right on that 50-yard line and going and laying it all out there. That's not stopping me from picking Green Bay, though. Green Bay, the last time they played Dallas in a serious game, they put up 57 points and did not let Dallas score till the fourth quarter. That's how bad that was. I don't believe it's going to be as bad of a beatdown as that playoff game that I just alluded to. But the Green Bay Packers are hungry. They are ready to go. Dallas losing CD is kind of what put me over the top here. I was actually ready to pick the Cowboys. I'm not going to lie to you. I was ready to pick Dallas because I'm not confident in Jordan Love. I got laughed at when I said Jordan Love was not a top 15 quarterback. A lot of people said, okay, well, what makes you pick Bo Nix over him? What makes you pick Kyler Murray over him? Well, guess what? Bo Nix and Kyler Murray, I've seen under pressure. I've seen them in the 2-minute drill. That's the most important part of the game, Lucas. That's the most important part of an NFL game is that 2-minute drill, that final stretch. Can you close things off? I've seen Murray close it off. I've seen Nix close it off. I've seen Mahomes close. I've seen Lamar. I have never seen Jordan Love do it against real competition. And if you couldn't even do it against the Cleveland Browns of all teams with Joe Flacco as the starting quarterback, what makes me believe he's going to be able to do it against the Eagles, the Buccaneers, the Rams, or any of the other NFC contending teams? Don't get me wrong. I don't like that team right there. I am not a Cowboys fan. But they could very well easily beat the Green Bay Packers on Sunday, and God forbid if they do, we're never going to hear the end of it.
Oh, great.
Nick, I'm giving your team credit. They're going to give Green Bay a hard time. Packers are going to win, though. Go, Pack, go. And Gannon Jones Jr., former guest of 2 Jagoffs, I just want to say I feel so bad for. He's a Packers fan. He was posting all on social media on Sunday right before that Packers game. I don't think he's posted since. I think he posted a picture of him and his daughter at the playground, which was really cute, but I have not seen anything since, so someone may want to go check on Gannon.
Oh, God.
We need him. Come on, Gannon. We need you, bro. You're one half of the Enjoy Tag Team Champions. Poor Gannon. You got the bottle. I'm not doing the squirting. I'm going to make a mess.
You want to do score again?
No, I'm good. I'll pass this
That's right
time.
there.
I know it's right there.
So you just want to move into Monday, September 20th?
Yeah, I don't know why we have 2 Monday Night Football games, but we do have
they're both pretty crappy.
Yeah, we got the Jets versus Dolphins, 0-3 versus 0-3. Who gets their first win, Lucas? Or do you got a tie?
I might take the tie. I mean, wait, this is actually kind of hard. I really want to say the Jets. And I'm going to say the Jets. The Jets had a really close game, and that's about it. That's all I can really say. Miami just sucks. Miami's really bad. Miami should just trade Tyreek Hill, beg Waddle to stay, and go for that number 1 overall pick. That's what they should honestly do. They're probably not going to. They're probably going to try their hardest to win this game at home, but I have more faith in the Jets than Aaron Glenn. I need to see some more Aaron Glenn dancing on the sideline clips.
The Miami Dolphins are worse than the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to say it right now. Saints defense is better. Dolphins offense is slightly worse. Tua Tagovailoa most likely will not be a starting quarterback going forward. As much as that pains me to say because I'm a Tua guy, I do not like the way he's playing. He's not making great throws at all. If you watch a Dolphins game and you just put Tua's snap count on the screen and you watch how many incompletions he has and how many tight balls he's been throwing, it's rough. I watched the first 13 passes that he had on Thursday night against Buffalo. Just the first 13 passes alone, maybe one of them was a good throw. Yes, some of them were complete. I think he went like 6 for 10 at first and then like 12 for 30. Like, he had good numbers. He had good completion rates. But if you actually watch the throws and him scrambling outside the pocket and making the run, like, Tua only had one good pass. One. That's not what you want out of your starting quarterback. Cam Ward looked better. Bryce Young has looked better. Baker Mayfield has looked better. Much better. But I believe Fields coming back from an injury and kind of nursing his body in a game like this is actually going to put them in jeopardy. So my hope is that Tyrod Taylor sticks around because Taylor will put some points up on the board with his offense. You just feed Breece Hall and play action, you'll be smooth. I'm going with the Jets, though. Jets will get their first win. Final game of the week, Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos. 2-1 versus 1-2 should also be 2-1 if you really think about it, but we'll just leave it at that. Thoughts on this game, LK?
Cincinnati's going to get destroyed, man. Denver is a very good team. Cincinnati without Burrow is one of the worst teams. Browning is not good. I thought that this team had enough talent to put up a fight and even win against Minnesota. They couldn't score at all. That was a very sad game. I don't see a reason why they would beat Denver if they couldn't beat Minnesota, who's Denver's debatably a better team. I think Denver's going to blow them out of the water.
Couldn't agree more. Denver's defense is spectacular. Bo Nix doesn't even need to play that good just to win this game. I mean, Bo Nix could probably light a cigar eat a bag of Gushers, make a phone call, order something off Amazon, and maybe get a small 15-minute nap in before he even has to get rid of the football against this team. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals team is awful. It's god-awful without Joe Burrow. This is no disrespect to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but Jake Browning cannot make the same reads. Zach Taylor has completely folded under pressure, and the defense is obsolete. I mean, yes, I said the biggest issue going into the season was getting off to a hot start. The Bengals did just that in week 1. But now the concern of the defense is starting to raise question marks again. Where is this defense? You gave up that many points last week. Now, don't get me wrong. That was more of the Bengals offense rather than Bengals defense giving up those points, which is a little bit weird because the offense should be scoring points, not giving up points, but that's exactly what they did because of how many turnovers on downs they had. I got to give credit where credit's due to Denver, though. They have looked great this season. The Indianapolis game was complete BS, which is why I say they should have 2 wins, but I'll leave it at that. They actually looked really good in that loss to the Chargers last week, but the Chargers are just slightly better because of Justin Herbert and the experience. I'm going with Denver with the bounce-back win at home to end off Monday Night Football. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is all of our NFL Week 4 predictions. Before we end things off today, I want to make one quick note. I actually did something big yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Very big.
Uh-oh.
Not yesterday in terms of when we recorded this. We actually recorded this episode on a Tuesday. And the reason why we did it on a Tuesday is because Wednesday, during our normal recording time, I had the absolute privilege of going to AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Now, of course, last time I made an announcement like this, my plans fell through, and I sounded like an idiot. I was like, I went to this place, and then I never actually went because I got sick.
I hope this doesn't happen
The hope is that I will be at All Elite Wrestling at the Peterson Event Center. Not only am I'm not just going as a fan. I'm going to be backstage. And for those who have always been with me for the longest time knows that professional wrestling is my destiny of sorts. It's my ultimate goal. I want to be in the professional wrestling business when it's all said and done. I'd give up every one of those hats that I have in my room. I'd give up my phone. I'd give up this podcast. I'd give up so much just to get into the wrestling world because that is where I want to be. That is where I want to make my living. That is what I want to do with my life. That is what I'm destined for. The 3 biggest things that I have on my bucket list when it's all said and done is get married, have kids, and be in the WWE. That's literally what is on my bucket list. Those are the top 3 things that I want to do before I get to the age of 35. If I'm not at those things by 35, then I failed at life. Maybe not WWE, but definitely married and kids hopefully by then. Who knows? I'm only 21, so I got time. I'm single, by the way. So we're just going to leave it at that. I'm not going for that part anytime soon. I want to grow this baby here first. Got to grow true Jagoffs. But no, AEW is on the bucket list. I know I'm a little crazy. Not only that, though, Lucas, I'm doing 4 different wrestling events this week. 4. That means the world to me.
That's more than 3.
It is more than 3. I had to think. I was like, wait a minute.
Caught you off guard.
I was like, what did you say? And I was like, well, yeah, you're right because 3 plus 1 is 4. Duh. Go Cougars. Woohoo. Go Pioneers. Love the hat, by the way. But go Pioneers. No, listen. 4 wrestling events. I'm going backstage at AEW on Wednesday. Thursday is our normal Thursday night fights with 880 I'm calling. Friday is our 880 monthly show, MV Young's Harvest Moon. And Saturday I'll be in West Virginia at Negative Outlook just to hang out with some friends. The following week I'll be calling IWC Super Indie, which is the biggest IWC event of the year. It's like their WrestleMania. So I am just blessed. Thank you, God. I have the cross on. Thank you to my parents. Thank you to you, LK. Thank you to all my friends. I love you all. Because me going to this AEW event, which I'm definitely going to be talking about next week on the podcast, and I'll probably be talking about in Steel City and anywhere that I go, might be the biggest opportunity in my career yet. Yes, we have Day of Giving. Yes, we have 2 Jagoffs. Yes, I have these wrestling events. Yes, I have these amazing moments and these amazing career goals. AEW might be the biggest experience yet, though, so I'm very blessed for it. So sorry if some of these picks are a little off, if some players get announced with injuries or stuff over the next 2 days. This was recorded on a Tuesday again. That is why my dad's not here. That is why we were completely unprepared today. That's why I had to have a different paper, and Lucas doesn't have his pen or the 4 Horsemen, but that's okay. 2 Jagoffs is here. 2 Jagoffs is here to stay. Before we do some more promotional things, what else do you got on your mind, Lucas? You want to share anything with the audience?
Not much going on, man. I mean, just getting through school. Got some drama going on. Obviously, as we've been talking about lately. Got the other podcast going on alongside this one. Both are going well. So just living.
What is it? 3 episodes now? I'm about like 15 minutes into your other one. So
yeah, we just posted our 3rd one. Yep.
3rd one. Well, you guys know where to find us all. Before we get into that, though, Day of Giving. I feel like that's pretty important to say. Do you remember the dates? Do you want to give the little Day of Giving promotion, or are you not ready yet for it?
Is it the 29th?
Yeah.
October 29th.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me go. I'm so cool. Make sure to bring your ID if you're over 21. Or if you're 21 or over.
Oh, that just bring your student ID in general because you get it for free.
Well, you got to bring that to get in, yeah.
Yeah, bring your student ID, bring your legal ID.
Backwards.
Yeah. Well, here's how you can do it. It's Wednesday, October 29th here at the Fishbowl, second floor of Lawrence Hall. 2 Jagoffs Live in partnership with Day of Giving. The goal, $350,000 for all you amazing students like me, like LK drinking that Gannon Jones Jr. water bottle, and like each and every single one of you listening live here from Point Park University. It is going to be a great event. Special guest, returning guest, and some debuting guests. We just sent out the letters today to some very big names in the Steel City. We'll be revealing that very shortly here on this podcast to hype up that event some more. You're not going to want to miss it. Be there Wednesday, October 29th, 5 to 7. Happy hour starts at 4. You know I'll be there. It's going to be a great time.
This guy acts like he's like a wrestling commentator or something like that.
Yeah, who is this guy? What a Jagoff.
Who does this guy think he is?
Who is this Jagoff? He really is a Jagoff.
You are a Jagoff.
Also, F you, Clay. Actually, can I say one F-bomb at the end of this episode? Fuck you, Clayton King and some guy named John. I hate the both of you for going on social media and keep trying to hug it out and, everything's okay. Meanwhile, you just beat each other's asses on Wednesday. F both of you.
What a crappy tag team beating each other up.
I'll give you a pass, too, to say whatever you want about
Fuck you guys. You guys suck. John can't even take a, hey, your socks untied joke. He got pissed off at Mr. Jack Dean, of all people. Hey, your socks untied. You shut up. And then Clayton King, you just look like a ferret.
Fair boy.
Fair boy. Both of you get scared off on social media the minute the group comes around, so I don't want to hear it from you guys. Oh, we're tougher than you. Yeah, you can't even win a social media comment battle.
Can I be honest? I'm going to give John a rare compliment. This is going to pain me to say it.
Oh, God.
I found his theme song. It actually slaps. It actually slaps a little bit. Puke. Is there a bid? I'm already in this Viking. I'll just use this to puke on. I don't like the Vikings. I only did it for this joke.
Use that one.
Use that. Oh, yeah, that's a good one right there.
You did it upside down.
Screw the Cowboys.
Oh, great. That's where everyone puts their feet at, too. It's right by the seat. Oh.
That doesn't matter.
It's going back in your bag with everything else.
Cowboys. Well, at least it's not the part where it goes on my head, so we're good. It still has a Ross tax on it. It just shows I'm not wearing that shit. I can tell
how much you wear it.
I ain't wearing that shit. Hell no. But yeah, no, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in. We have a lot of big episodes planned. Keith Palo, Dean Palo is coming on this Sunday for Interview Sunday. We're right back in it again. A lot of wrestlers coming up as well these next couple weeks. A lot of great promos. Don't forget to go check out the Instagram, TikTok, X page, Facebook page, YouTube page. It's all growing. You know where to find me. I'm at Steel City Commuters each and every single Wednesday. Lucas is over on the New Management Podcast, which just recently made its debut. And of course, you can find us both live here on 2 Jagoffs every Thursday and every Sunday. Okay, any final words?
Make sure to check us out on all platforms. Me and you both are on like pretty much everything you can possibly look for. So,
school, go Vikings. No, we're not doing that.
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all again so much. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.